Sports coverage in the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. The kicker, Dustin Hopkins, set to get this one going. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And they'll begin by running the option. And whoa, he's going to hope that that is not a sign of things to come. A rude welcoming to this ball game. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's 2nd down. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Jackson. Throw caught by Flowers. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Facing 4th down, Baltimore will punt. Jordan Stout out there. DeAndre Carter back deep. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at the 40. And right side, they're going to go option here. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Boy, the pursuit there, terrific from the linebacking core.
Oh, it certainly was, because so many times on an option play, you'll see a linebacker make a beeline for the quarterback and then zip, one cut, and he's grasping it air. But this time, he locked in on him the whole way, took an excellent angle, and his grasp came up with the quarterback.
And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a 1st down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Flacco. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up 1st and goal.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up 1st downs.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
Hat tip to that offensive line. They're clearing some holes, even down here deep in the red zone. And that's a nice pickup on the ground on 1st and goal.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
Can't afford another delay here as they come up again on 2nd and goal. Flacco throwing quickly out wide. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. If you're these receivers, you got to be ready because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes it's just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
3rd and goal, Flacco. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
Hopkins' kick is good, and the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Flowers going to go in motion right. Throwing is Jackson. That one into the hands of Flowers. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
A first down carry for Henry. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain. Jackson.
A short throw caught by Andrews. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. From the gun, Flacco. Open man, he completes it to Judy. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
He sets to fire deep. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Jackson now. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. The end result, 21 yards.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
Running left, it's Henry. To about the 48-yard line.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Now a 2nd and 6. Oh, and they sent the man in motion too late. This is going to be a delay. Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
Second down, they go again with Henry. And he'll be stopped at the 46, gain of 3.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. 3rd and 8. Well, everybody was up there ready at the line of scrimmage, CD, but no snap, and the delay of game ensued.
Yeah, and I'm sure their head coach is asking the exact same thing. What's going on out there? Almost like they thought they had more time than actually was on the clock.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. To throw is Jackson. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. And they will get this across midfield, but still well short of the first as he's dropped at the 46. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Jordan Stout now. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Kyle Van Noy in on the stop. $3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football. Here's 2nd and 7 as they've got it as we resume action. Now Flacco. This is the tight end, Njoku. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
Tillman motions to the left. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now Flacco. He's got his target. That's complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a 1st down.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Here's Flacco. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 49 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Those are the types of run, Charles, that they say this first-year running back can provide a lot more of in the future.
He made it look easy, didn't he? Picking up that 1st down. Some have described him as a diamond in the rough with a lot of polish, nice little buffing. This guy could be one of the top backs going forward.
Yeah, the movement there coming from the middle of the line.
And you understand he wants to get off the ball quickly, but the ball's right in front of him. He has to watch it move first.
Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. 1st and 5. To pass, Flacco. Over the middle, complete to Judy. So the completion good for just 3. And they'll be left with second and a couple.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he gets it down to the 32. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Flacco. That's going to be caught by Judy. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. Now it's Flacco. Right back to Judy, and it's complete. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. A quick throw caught out wide by Judy. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's second down. Flacco from the gun. His pass caught at the 4. And the Browns are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And they are able to add on to their advantage. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up. Meaning, when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And now here come the Ravens. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Big impact play, a tackle for loss.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Here's Jackson to throw. He finds Bateman over the middle. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
The Ravens on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time it's 3rd and 3. Flowers going to go in motion right. Oh, the motion comes too late, and this is going to be a delay. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. And the delay of game penalty makes this much more difficult. 3rd and 8. Now it's Jackson. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. It's a big play there for Baltimore. And even 40 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Now it's Jackson. Throw right side here, taken in by Bateman. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Add this game to the last one, and they move the ball over 50 yards in 2 plays.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll, and now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Jackson from the shotgun. He's got his man. It's Andrews. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Now 2nd and 3. First carry now for Justice Hill. And fights through one man. And the Ravens are going to have it 1st and goal as he'll take this down to about the 3.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Henry will get down close to the goal line, but not in, as he'll be marked down at the 1. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Ravens have cut it back within a score. Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with the touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because he softened him up throwing the football and opened up the running lanes. And when he gets a little bit of a sliver, he's gone. And that's exactly what he did there.
Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Flacco. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That's on the guard, Wyatt Teller. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Flacco. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 70 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. Flacco looks to throw. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Setting up to throw, Flacco. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Browns' passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. Passing play, Flacco. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
7 yards there on the first down screen play. And that extra yardage makes this upcoming field goal attempt much more manageable.
Agreed, because when you talk to defensive coordinators, they always tell us the 35-yard line on our side of the field, that's the line we guard the most aggressively, because once they get there, they believe they're in field goal range.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. From his end zone, here comes Justice Hill. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Browns offense set to go to work to begin this third quarter. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they were very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
2nd and 10. And they'll bring Judy in motion right. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And he'll get a couple up to the 29.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. 3rd down, Flacco from the gun. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
The Browns send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. 23 yards on the play.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Oh, and they sent the man in motion too late. This is going to be a delay. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Jackson. Yet again, targeting and fighting Mark Andrews. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. Throw caught by Flowers. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Off the option, here's Henry. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And now the Browns coming out on the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. It'll go as a gain of 4. And they're going to have a 3rd down.
Well, that was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
This now a 3rd and 4. Now Flacco. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. In motion, the tight end. Just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
Now Flacco. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They need 12 here. It's 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
The Browns send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at about the 32. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. His throw incomplete. And that right there, his first incompletion of the game, pretty remarkable.
And so let's start talking about all-time records, because with that incompletion, maybe over a 2-game sequence, or maybe starts a new streak now, because Ryan Tannehill, over 2 games, hit 25 straight. Now, the incompletion, we're taking this record out of play, but Mark Brunell, when he's with Washington, 22 straight completions to start a game. This guy's on fire.
A short one there, caught by Likely. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now fourth down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
39 yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return. The football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 103 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
I love football lingo and the evolution of it all. Nickel defense makes sense, right? Five defensive
DBs.
backs. But then you go to 6. What are you going to call that? And they call it a
Double
dime. A dime, which is just very simple for them. The math doesn't add up. But I know one thing. Offenses love to run against dime defenses. Typically, the bigger guys have an advantage against the smaller defensive backs when they're blocking downfield.
Yeah, we saw that advantage right there. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. The Georgia man, Roquan Smith, came in and got him.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. To pass, Flacco. Open man, he completes it to Judy. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Here's Flacco. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. Hopkins' kick is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that could all change, because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. And now Ravens offense getting set and ready for this next drive. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. He'll throw from the gun. A slant route caught by Bateman. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Play action. It's Jackson. They've got his man complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Zay Flowers, 71 yards. And the Ravens have got it back to within a score. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And the Browns getting set to go. Still enjoying the lead here in the third quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. 120 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. Second and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Barely got that snap off. Flacco now. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on it.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
Now it's Flacco. And that is incomplete.
I like the call. It looked like the right time to dial up a running back screen. But this one got disrupted right from the start and it ends up falling incomplete.
The Browns send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
They begin with Henry. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Throwing is Jackson. It's complete to Hopkins. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and make sure he spills it for a small gain.
The Ravens send their punter out now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. .39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Browns set to take over. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
So from the 37, here's a 2nd and 4. Here's Flacco. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. Over the middle, complete. It's Johnson. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
They'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that 1st down. That's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
The Browns send out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Their defense accomplished step one of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth-quarter lead. They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. And they'll run the option to start the drive. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
They work now on 2nd and 9. In motion left goes a tight end. From the gun, it's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a 1st down. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Play action. Now Jackson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. Well, we've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact. But that time, they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape, because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 42. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
Got to give their offensive coordinator credit there. He got right into the head of the defensive coordinator, because right on the heels of the sack on 2nd down, he figured they were going to come at him hard again. And so he went ahead and hit him with a brilliant call. Screen pass works well enough. They're able to pick up a 1st down. That's one way to keep that defense at bay.
A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series, because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Here's 2nd and 10. Back to the ground now. It's Henry. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had the incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
On the very outer edge of field goal range, it would be 56 yards if they got nothing here on 3rd down. To throw is Jackson. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the 1st.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
Off the option, here's Henry. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Jackson options out left. 4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
Jackson going to run again. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This for a 4th quarter lead. And his kick is indeed good, and they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So he waited on the sideline for his first chance in the ball game, and it didn't come until the 4th quarter, but he connects there. A big one to give him the lead.
Boy, you talk about coming in cold. I don't care how many times you kick it into a net. You're not really ready when you go out there and all that beef is coming at you trying to block the kick. Big spot, and he delivers.
Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Cleveland offense making their way out. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. Flacco. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Njoku. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Flacco. Right back to Njoku. From the gun, Flacco. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Flacco. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the 1st down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
Now Flacco. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to get out of bounds with the 1st down. So that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the 1st and save a timeout.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there. Picked up the 1st down. Got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have as well as the understanding where they are on the field?
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Flacco to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Setting to throw, Flacco. This is the tight end, Njoku. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Flacco. This is caught. Touchdown, Browns. Cedric Tillman, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Browns have taken a fourth-quarter lead.
And touchdown, and congratulations, and zero relaxation ahead of them, right? Way too much time on the clock for them to start celebrating.
Yeah, part one is done, but now on the sideline, you can already see them scrambling down there. They're getting those defensive guys ready.
Yes, you have to get those guys ready, and you also have to talk to your special teams guys. Make sure the kickoff is exactly what you want and cover it well.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Jackson and the Ravens, here they come. Down 24-17. A minute 6 to play. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. Jackson to throw. They set up the screen to Hill. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive lineman. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Throwing, Jackson. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Now Jackson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Ravens first down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
2 timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now. Jackson. Yet again, targeting and finding Mark Andrews. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
They'll come up now on 2nd down. Here's Jackson. And he can't get a throw away. play. He's taken down. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. A big play needed, no doubt. Third and long. Throwing now is Jackson. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. This one came right down to the wire, and CD, they had that one final chance to try to navigate their way into the end zone, but couldn't get it done to avoid the loss.
Yeah, and how about the defense there? Because while they had one final look at the end zone, the defense made sure they knew what they were doing on the last play, executed it flawlessly, and no flags. Because remember, if there's a defensive penalty, there's one play left in the game that the offense gets. They didn't allow that to happen.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Baltimore, so long, everybody.